In July of 2021, Puerto Amarillo was founded in the south of the Acora Peninsula under Dracaean rule by Salazar van den Green. The country was unstable, and Lit, one of the most important Amarillians, started plotting in one of the numerous groups wishing to destroy the Concordat. The final straw is when a bandit killed someone from Amarillo and New Haven, and the central state refused to put them on trial. Amarillo and New Haven declared independence, making the autarch dissolve Dracaes. Amarillo tried to maintain peace between New Haven and Jorvik, which wanted to conquer it but didn't succeed, and fought with Smegsville and New Haven against Jorvik, losing. After the war, Amarillo became part of the organization called the League of the Bay of Peace with Nidaros, and became a republic, and Lyria claimed all Amarillian lands, and after some negotiations between Jalhaik and President Wyatt, Amarillo managed to keep the city of Puerto Amarillo. After that, Wyatt resigned, and Soronaka was elected president. Under his presidency, Amarillo got Onumo Zaki as a vassal, and more importantly created, along with Nidaros, the newly created kingdom of Nuj, or the League of Virken. In September, Lit was elected as president. Most of the month was focused on removing Kibris, a settlement in the sea south of Puerto Amarillo. This helped bonding Dracaean and Virconian nations together, and was the first step for Amarillo's good relations with Eureka. The next Surreal was elected as the next president. He didn't do much, and the nation was mostly run by Soronaka. Soronaka and Lit got Amarillo involved in the Valorant War in order to get some islands that were Barbosan, and succeeded, getting what is now called Islas Doradas. Soronaka was at the time Secretary General of the League of Virken, and despite being very small, Amarillo was probably the nation with the biggest number of people working in the League. It is also important to note that between the creation of the Republic and the acquisition of the islands, Amarillo launched several state-sponsored squatter settlements in inactive nations far away to get more land, but never succeeded in this. From November to December, Lit was president. This period saw a decline in the League of Virken, even though Amarillo stayed one of its most prominent members. Lit and Juni, now vice president, wrote the Amarillian Republic's constitution. Amarillian High Command usually saw tensions between Juni and Lit on one side and Soronaka and Green on the other. It was also at this time when Amarillo managed to get all of its homeland back through purchases and political actions. Then, the Holy Dracaean Empire was created in Valoric. Despite half of High Command, Green and Soronaka, not agreeing, Lit and Juni made Amarillo stay neutral and leave the League of Virken. Even then, the Amarillians within the League were among the most important members, and Green kept his position in the League of Virken. Though the League didn't survive this, and was dissolved by the remaining members, Lit retired from politics, and Kainar was to be president of Amarillo for several months, followed by Euribus. They both had similar policies, however Euribus was less active. A cold war between Amarillo and the newly formed Valerian-Catanian Commonwealth started. At several moments, war almost broke out between the two. At some point, Amarillo vassalized Catullus' land in the region under two separate states, Torham and Libertas. Green was impeached from chancellor and replaced by Juni. For some time, he became mayor and governor until he disappeared. No one knows where he went, but regularly showed signs of life. Amarillo also became a part of the Covenant of Embers and would participate in its war against Skjoldbredir. This war contributed to raise tensions between the VCC as it vassalized Gardenia, a Skjold seceding state, covering land the Covenant planned to divide amongst themselves. The Covenant planned to war the VCC, but ultimately didn't after losing against Skjoldbredir/Rodenbroek. At some point, VCC and Mugen had an event and became the Dracaean Commonwealth. Two Amarillians, Kainar and Zogaris, took control of Libertas and declared the independence of two separate states, and went to the Dracaean Commonwealth for help. As the DC helped Amarillo instead of using them against them, this put an end to the Cold War, and after that, Libertas was fully annexed by Amarillo. Mikbabwe was elected president and was impeached. Juni, as chancellor, took power in an emergency. Considering the country overextended, she allowed Kainar to take former Libertas in the name of the Kingdom of Urbia, nowadays Mordain. She also became Empress of Arctania and stopped concentrating on Amarillo. Babwe's vice president, Kawai, Juni, and Lit's son had power as acting president and suspended the constitution, launching the Civil War. In the end of the Civil War, Amarillo became a constitutional monarchy, and was at first ruled by mainly Soronaka and Kauai for a temporary government until the constitution was done. When Catania left the Dracaean Commonwealth, seeing this as an opportunity, Amarillo created the Treaty of Puerto Amarillo to defend the Dracae's land against foreigners. When the constitution was done, Soronaka became acting prime minister before the elections. Under his ministry, the country joined the Dracaean Commonwealth. Mikbabwe was elected prime minister after that, and when the DC dissolved itself, Cyrenaica, wanting to once again use it as an opportunity to affirm the nation's place within the Dracaisland, launched an impeachment process towards Mcbabwe, considered unfit to lead the nation, especially through such troubled times, which worked. Potatus Infero is since then the Prime Minister, and Cyrenaica mostly handled international matters as Minister of Foreign Affairs and then King. Amarillo adopted a policy of not getting involved in any Dracaean affairs unless it was required, and on the other hand, of always trying to protect Dracaean nations and peoples and respect their self-determination. It is what it did, for example, when it bought the Kingdom of Arca, despite reluctances, because its inhabitants wanted to join Amarillo. Nowadays, Amarillo is considered to be, as Valeric was until the fall of the Dracaean Commonwealth, the main Dracaean nation, both culturally and politically. The ruling houses of Amarillo, House Aulien de Porphyropolis, rules more or less directly 3 Dracaean nations, and Amarillo intervenes in Dracaean-wide affairs, such as the sea level crisis. Thanks for watching and please subscribe. It's free and really helps out the channel. Thank you. Peace out and goodbye.